Deep within a lush, vibrant forest, where sunlight danced through the thick canopy and the air was alive with the gentle hum of insects, there stood a place of wonder and life. The forest was a tapestry of greens, with towering trees, flowering shrubs, and the distant calls of wild creatures echoing through the morning mist. It was here, in this magical corner of the world, that our story begins. At the heart of this forest stood a grand old neem tree, its gnarled trunk and sprawling branches a testament to centuries gone by. The neem tree was more than just a tree. It was a bustling home for countless birds and animals. Its branches were alive with the cheerful songs of parrots, the playful chirps of sparrows, and the melodious calls of cuckoos. Every morning the tree would come alive with a symphony of sounds, as birds greeted the new day and fluttered from branch to branch, sharing stories and laughter. Among the happiest residents of this ancient neem tree were two crows named Carl and Carney. They were a devoted pair, known throughout the forest for their cleverness and strong bond. For many days, Carl and Carney had searched far and wide, flying over rivers, fields, and other trees, looking for the perfect place to start their family. When they finally discovered the sturdy branches of the neem tree, they knew at once that they had found their home, a place safe from predators, high above the ground, and surrounded by friends. With great care and teamwork, Carl and Carney began to build their nest. They gathered twigs, soft grass, and even bits of wool and feathers they found scattered on the forest floor. Each piece was carefully chosen and woven together, creating a cozy, sturdy nest nestled high in the neem tree's branches. As they worked, other birds watched and sometimes offered a helping beak, sharing in the excitement of new life soon to come. The nest became a symbol of hope and love, a safe haven for the family they dreamed of. Every evening, as the golden sun dipped below the horizon and painted the sky in shades of orange and pink, Carl and Carney would sit side by side in their nest. From their high perch, they could see the shimmering lake in the distance, its surface reflecting the colors of the setting sun. They would watch the world grow quiet, dreaming together of the day their pale blue eggs would hatch and their family would grow. The gentle breeze would rustle the leaves, and the peacefulness of the moment filled their hearts with joy and anticipation. Life in the neem tree was filled with friendship and love. The birds looked out for one another, sharing food, stories, and songs. Sometimes the younger birds would play games among the branches, while the older ones watched with fondness. There was a sense of community and belonging, where every bird, big or small, was valued and cared for. The neem tree was not just a home, but a place where memories were made and bonds grew stronger with each passing day. As the days passed, Carl and Carney tended lovingly to their nest, keeping their precious eggs warm and safe. They took turns watching over them, whispering gentle songs and sharing dreams of the future. Their hearts were full of love and anticipation, eager for the moment when tiny beaks would break through the shells and their chicks would hatch. In the heart of the neem tree, surrounded by friends and the beauty of the forest, Carl and Carney knew they had found the perfect place to begin their family's story. But beneath the joy, danger lurked, hidden in the shadows of the dense Indian forest. The forest, with its dappled sunlight and whispering leaves, held secrets that even the bravest of creatures feared to uncover. Among these secrets was a black cobra, a silent predator that lived hidden in the neem tree's hollow. Its presence was a constant threat, a dark force that could strike at any moment. One fateful afternoon, while Carl and Carney, the devoted crow couple, were out searching for food, the cobra seized its chance. It slithered up the tree trunk with a deadly grace and devoured their precious eggs, leaving nothing but broken shells and shattered dreams. When the crows returned to their nest, they were met with a heart-wrenching sight. Their nest, once a symbol of hope and new beginnings, was now empty. The loss was unbearable, and their dreams of a family were cruelly snatched away. Carney's cries echoed through the forest, a mournful sound that silenced the other creatures. Carl, overwhelmed with sorrow, felt his grief transform into a burning anger. He knew they could not let this tragedy repeat itself. Determined to protect their future family, Carl examined the tree trunk closely. He saw the faint trail left by the snake and vowed to find a way to keep their nest safe from the lurking danger. The loss united the birds in fear, but Carl's resolve grew stronger. He gathered the other crows, and together they formed a plan. They knew they had to be vigilant and work as a team to protect their home. "We cannot let this evil creature win," Carl promised Kani, his voice filled with determination. They would not let the cobra's shadow darken their lives any longer. The time had come to find a way to defeat the cobra. With renewed hope and a united front, the crows prepared to face the serpent, ready to reclaim their home and their future. News of the tragedy spread like a chill wind through the forest, touching every branch and leaf. The sun had barely risen, yet the air was heavy with grief. The birds, who had once filled the morning with cheerful songs, now gathered in silence, their hearts weighed down by the loss that had befallen them. The forest, usually alive with the flutter of wings and the chatter of friends, seemed to pause in mourning. One by one, the birds arrived, perching close together for comfort. Crows, parrots, sparrows, and even the shy mynas huddled on the sturdy branches of the old Neem tree, their eyes wide with worry and uncertainty. The tragedy had united them in a way nothing else could. Mithu, the wise old parrot, ruffled his feathers and spoke with a voice that trembled but was clear. "The cobra threatens us all," he said gravely. "We are too small to fight it. Alone we are powerless, but together perhaps we can find a way." Carl, the boldest of the crows, hopped forward, his eyes burning with determination. "We must use our minds, not our claws," he insisted. "Bravery is not just about fighting. It's about thinking, planning, and outsmarting our enemy." Kani, the gentle sparrow, added softly, "The Panchatantra teaches that wisdom is stronger than force. We need a clever plan, not just courage. If we act rashly, we may lose more friends." As the first rays of sunlight filtered through the leaves, a flicker of hope began to warm the hearts of the gathered birds. They realized that even in their sorrow, they could find strength in each other and in the lessons of old. After much discussion, the birds decided to seek help from Chatura, the clever jackal who lived at the edge of the forest. Chatura was known far and wide for his cunning and wisdom, and many believed he could solve even the trickiest problems. "He will know what to do," Carl declared, his voice ringing with hope. The others nodded, their eyes shining with a new sense of purpose. They knew that if anyone could help them, it was Chatura. The birds agreed, placing their trust in wisdom over strength. They understood that unity and cleverness would be their greatest weapons against the cobra's threat. Together, with a sense of resolve, they prepared to visit Chatura. Their wings beat in unison as they set out, each bird carrying the weight of their sorrow, but also the spark of hope for a better tomorrow. As they journeyed through the quiet forest, their hearts were heavy with sadness, but also filled with the promise that, united and wise, they might yet find a way to save their home. At dawn, Carl and Kani flew to Chatura's cave, sharing their sorrowful tale. The old jackal listened, then nodded thoughtfully. "You cannot fight the cobra directly," he said. "But wisdom can defeat might." Chatura revealed a plan. "Let someone stronger remove the cobra for you." The crows leaned in, eager for his advice. "Follow my instructions exactly," Chatura warned, "and your troubles will end." The plan was daring, but it offered hope. Carl and Kani left, determined to act with courage and cleverness. The next day, Carl and Kani watched as the queen and her maids left their jewels by the lake. Kani nodded. It was time. Carl swooped down, snatching the queen's pearl necklace. Guards shouted and chased him as he flew low, leading them straight to the Neem tree. The plan was working. The guards followed, focused on the stolen treasure. Carl circled the tree, then dropped the necklace into the cobra's hollow. The guards arrived, determined to retrieve the queen's jewels. The trap was set for the unsuspecting serpent. The guards peered into the hollow, spotting the necklace. Suddenly, the cobra, disturbed and angry, slithered out, hood raised. The guards recoiled in shock, then rallied to face the threat. "It's a cobra! We must kill it!" the captain shouted. With spears and sticks, they surrounded the serpent. The cobra fought fiercely, but the guards prevailed. The wicked snake was defeated not by the crows, but by the human's strength. The neem tree was safe once more. The guards retrieved the necklace and marched back, unaware of the clever plan they'd fulfilled. High above, Carl and Carney watched, relief flooding their hearts. The shadow over their home had lifted. The cobra would never return. The birds celebrated, singing in joy and gratitude. Carl and Carney returned to their nest, ready to start anew. They had proven that intelligence could overcome even the greatest danger. The neem tree thrived, a symbol of hope and cleverness. The lesson was clear: wisdom triumphs over brute force. Carl and Carney visited Chatura to thank him. "We learned our minds are our greatest strength," Carl said. Carney added, "Hope and courage, guided by wisdom, can solve any problem." Even the cobra's downfall was a lesson. Arrogance and brute force are no match for clever thinking. Chatura nodded. "Always think before you act. Observe, plan, and use your resources." The crows promised to remember this wisdom. They returned home, ready to build their family in peace. The forest echoed with the power of cleverness and unity. Carl and Carney rebuilt their nest, soon welcoming healthy chicks. They taught their young that wisdom is mightier than strength. The neem tree flourished in harmony, its story a lesson for all. When faced with big problems, don't give up. Think creatively, seek help, and use your mind. You don't need to be the strongest to succeed. Clever thinking is your superpower. Remember the crows when you face challenges. Wisdom and courage will help you overcome any obstacle. A clever thought is always mightier than the strongest fist.